Hey guys, quick intro to this video. As many of you know, I was a big backpacker and primitive camper, and wanting to pack light, I would pack one good knife with me, and I would use that knife to dig. I would use it to split wood via batoning, hammer in tent stakes, pry, whatever I needed to do, the knife did. But unfortunately, almost all of them broke. So that's when I got frustrated and started making my own Rogan tools. So in this video, I'm going to pin a knife. This is a Ontario Rat 3 against something very similar in size, the Scout. Almost the same height. This is 5 ounces, this is 6.5 ounces. So for an ounce and a half more, I'll show you what this tool can do that this one can't.
So let's see weight. Scout, 6.5 ounces. Rat 3, 5 ounces. So the Scout is 1.5 ounces heavier than the Rat. Now with the Rat 3, you're also going to need to use the sheath. So the sheath has to be counted extra weight. And that's 2.5 ounces. Bringing the total to 7.5 ounces. So it is 1 ounce heavier than the Scout.
Hey guys, since we sell a lot to military personnel, I got a chance to speak with many EOD specialists. And with the EOD specialists, they have a small chest rig that they wear, and they need to pack light and pack something that can fit on that chest rig. So a knife is the most common digging tool with EOD specialists. That being said, they break a lot of them, and that's why I end up talking to them. Now, there are some of us that will take a knife like this and only use it for fine cuts. Then there are others of us that are very hard on our equipment and want one tool to do kind of a bunch of jobs, and that's where Rogan USA comes into play.
So are they both MOLLE compatible? Well, the Scout certainly is. It's not going to hurt anything on your backpack. That's a good place to keep it. How about the Rat 3? Well, I don't think this is MOLLE compatible. This is gonna... Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work at all.
So we're going to be testing out the Ontario Rat 3. Here's a brand new one that I got. First test is a cutting test. Since it's a knife, it's going to cut paracord very easily. How about the Scout though? The Scout is not a knife. It's a digging tool, prying tool, batoning tool, and will not cut paracord. So what do you do in this circumstance? Well, our tools are best friends with any multi-tool or pocket knife. So grab your favorite folding knife, cut paracord with that. Keep this nice and sharp for those fine cutting tasks, and use our tools for everything else. So this next test is a digging test for the Rat. So what I've done is I marked out 4 flags. This is a 1 foot by 1 foot square, and we're going to go to town and see what we can do with it. So first I'm going to do what's called a cut and a plug, where I'm going to make a circle like this. Pop that out. I'm just going to start digging, keeping it within the square to make it fair. So it's very similar in size to the Scout. So it digs just as well, but I'm very worried about it breaking at this point. Okay, so we get a nice hole size. Now we will go on to the Scout. So here we have another square, and I'm going to dig same hole with the Scout. So again, we're going to do the plug Now I'm not as afraid to kind of pry with this one. This is my personal Scout. I use it all the time, and I know that it's more capable here, so more of a prying motion to get this sawed up. And it does have a wider spade tip on it, so in my opinion it removes a little more dirt when using it like a trowel like this. There we go. There you go, there's our Scout. So, when you don't have a hammer with you, your knife is all you have, we're going to bang in some tent stakes. So we'll start with the Scout. Now you can use the Scout like this, choke up on it, and hammer it in like this. Or you can use the spine, hammer it in like this. So now we're going to do the same thing with the rat. So here we have the rat. You got to be careful when you choke up on it here. So we're going to bang it in. Alright, notice that the rat is not as heavy, so it's a little harder to sink in because there's very little weight at the tip of it. But there we go, so far so good, banging in the tent stakes. This next test is going to be batoning some wood. Now I will warn you, this wood is very hard to split. It is birch, but not only that, it is very humid. And this has been sitting in the back of a enclosed car. So it is very humid. It's more like rubberized wood. It's extremely hard to split, but let's see what we can do with it. See, I told you, it's very hard to split, but we sunk the rat in there. Now let's get it out. Okay. Now we're gonna do it again with the Scout. Scout actually split it because it is thicker and was able to crack it open. I'll put a very decent bend in it. Let's do it again. The end is mushrooming quite a bit. And one more. Well, rat 3. Now let's get the Scout. Tip is designed totally different, unlike a knife. I'll go some more with it. Let's go up here. Still rock solid. Let's keep going. Straight as an arrow. Hey guys, I wanted to recap what we did today. First off, I wanted to mention that the Scout that was used is my personal Scout, and it is the same tool that is in all the other videos. So I don't use different Scouts every time that I go out there and do a test or anything. It's all done with the same tool. So that will give you an idea of the lifespan of one of these. They keep going and going, and this still has a lot of life left. So I'll be happy to clip it back on my backpack. The other thing I want to mention is the price difference. Now the Rat 3 I've seen on, I checked Walmart, I've checked Amazon. It ranges in price from $45 to $60 depending on who you're going to be getting it from. So we'll say $50 is the average price for one of these. The Scout is $30. It's $29.99 on RoganUSA.com. So I think that the price should be considered when making a purchase, obviously. What do I think about the Rat 3? I think it's a great knife. It really is a good knife. I was surprised that once you get out of that low $20, $30 range knife and you bump up to like the $50 range knife, that you do get a much stronger knife. And I think Ontario's done a really good job at making this. It's held up good, even though the tip did crack off of it, but that's given with a knife. They're made to cut, and they're not made to dig or anything else. We want to use them for those tasks, but it wasn't made for that. And that's why I make what I make, is because this wasn't designed for it. But a lot of us are hard on our things and would like to use it for that. So this kind of fills that gap in the market, having the Spade Point series or any of my breacher bars. So I think it's a great knife. If you're in the market for a knife only that you're going to be just cutting with, I think this is a great knife. It has held up for knife tasks, and I think it would provide you with great years of service, but using it for just cutting tasks, of course. So that being said, I don't think that this is a garbage knife or anything. No, I think this is a great knife, but it is a knife. So I just want to point that out, that I'm not trashing on this knife at all and think that this is a garbage piece. No, this is a good knife. It's just for what I've come across in my time backpacking and primitive camping, I would get a lot more use out of the Scout, and then just follow up with a small folding knife for those fine tasks, those fine cutting tasks. And that's my opinion on it. Check us out, RoganUSA.com, on Instagram @RoganUSA, and thanks for watching, guys.